Hello everyone, we will continue the topic transport organizer, and in the previous videos we finished with first two type of transport request, that is workbench request and customizing request. Now we will move on to third type of transport request, that is transport of copies. And many times people will simply use the abbreviation TOC. TOC stands for transport of copies. Word itself is saying we will make a copy of the transport. Now we will understand what TOC is, what transport of copies is. It is used to transfer the changes to other system without releasing the main transport request. Means you will not release your main transport request. Without releasing the main transport request, you can transfer the changes to other system. Once the testing is over, after successful testing, we will release the main transport request. After once the successful testing will be done, then we will release our main transport request. So what is the benefit of the same? At the end, we have a single transport request for all of our changes. We will understand these three lines by taking an example, and you will automatically realize how important transport of copies is. Suppose simple. We will take an example. So far, what we did and up to this level, or what we studied up to this level. Suppose I'm saying we have a development system, we have a quality system. We all know DEV stands for development, QTST stands for quality test. Suppose we received a requirement from the customer. Based upon the requirement from the customer, we developed a program into the SAP, into the development system. We developed a program into the SAP development system, and that program saved into transport request 1. Now that program need to be tested into the quality system. It means we will release this transport request, and basis person will import this request into the quality system. Now functional is doing the testing of the program. Suppose during the testing he found two defects. It means we need to resolve those defects into the development system, but we cannot use the same TR again because TR1 is already released. So it means we need to create a new transport request. Suppose we are creating TR2. We will release this transport request. Basis person will import this request into the quality system. Now functional is again doing the testing. During testing, suppose he found one more defect, but we cannot use these two requests. It means we need to create a new transport request, suppose TR3. Once we will do the code changes, we will release the transport request. Once we will release, basis person will import the request into the quality system, and functional is doing the testing. Suppose this process is going on, and we developed suppose 20 transport requests. We developed 20 transport requests for the whole development, and these 20 transport requests move to the quality system. Now everything done. Now we need to move this program to the production system, because so that customer can use. Now have you understand what will happen in this production system? we need to transport these 20. We need to transport this 20 request, and it's a very, very headache. You can see if you will change the sequence, suppose you need to remember the sequence of these transport request. There should not be any miss in the transport request. So for a single development, you are creating 20 transport requests. So it is very, very hectic for a basis person also, and for us also, to keep track of this 20 requests. And if one request missed, it will create a mess into the production system. And we need to remember the sequence also, that after this request will go. After this request will go. So what is the best possible alternative for the same? SAP provided a concept of transport of copy. Just see, whenever we will go for transport of copy, how it will make the life smooth. And for the whole development, we have a single transport request only. Just see how transport of copy will help. Suppose if I will go for transport of copy concept, then how it will help. Suppose for the development, we created a transport request one. We created a transport request one. Now this transport request needs to go to the quality system so that functional can do the testing. But we will not release this transport request. What we will do? We will make a transport of copy. Suppose TOC1. We will make a transport of copy. This transport of copy will include this transport request. This transport of copy will include this transport request. Now we will release this transport of copy. Whenever we will release this transport of copy, ultimately this transport of copy has this transport request. Ultimately, our program is in this transport of copy. So our program will go to the quality system, and the quality person will do the testing. So in the quality system, we are going for TOC1. The basis person will import transport of copy 1. Now suppose during the testing, the functional person found 2 defects. Now we will resolve those 2 defects into the development system, but we will not create a new transport request. See, because TR1 is not released, so it means our changes will be in this TR1 only. Now what we will do? We will create a transport of copy 2, and in this transport of copy we will include the same to same transport request, that is TR1. So we will release this transport of copy 2, and the basis person will import transport of copy 2. Now functional is doing that testing again. Now suppose during the testing he found one more defect. So now there is no need to create new request because our main request has not released yet. So in this same request only, we will go for the code changes. We will create a transport of copy 3. We will create a third transport request, and we will include the same to same TR into this transport of copy 3, and we will release this transport of copy. Now have you seen? Suppose this process continued till 20 times. Till 20 times you did the process, but our transport request remain the same till the end. You are only going for transport of copies 20, but our main request is same. Now here we have in the quality system transport of request 20. Now functional is saying everything is over. There is successful testing. Now we will release this transport request, and when we will release this transport request, it will go to quality and it will go to production system. Just see how much is easy for us to track. From the starting till the end, we have a single transport request concept. From the starting till the end, we have a single transport request, and it is very easy to track. Many projects are using this approach as of now for the full development, because many projects have a change request concept, and their change request continue for 20 days, 25 days, 30 days. So they will create that transport request at the initial level. They will create a main transport request at the initial level. Whenever they will do the testing, they will create a transport of copy. They will not release the main transport request. Once the testing is over, they will release the main transport request, and it will go to quality and production system. So it is very easy for a basis person also. It is very easy for you also to track each and everything. And this is the meaning which we have written. Just now I will read the theory, and it will make more sense to you. It is used to transfer the changes to other system without releasing the main transport request. Just see, 20 times we have not released the main transport request, and our changes move to the quality system because testing is going on, and we have not released the main transport request. Now, after that, after successful testing, we can release our main transport request. Once the testing is over, then we will release our main transport request. And so that we have a single transport request for all our changes. And for all these full development, we have a single transport request, that is TR1. And many projects are simply using this approach because they do not want to mess the things. They will just go for a 2 months or 3 months, suppose simple development. And for the full development, they will use only one transport request. Parallelly, they will do the testing also by using transport of copies.